Good afternoon, welcome on in to another episode of From Day One. Today we have a two-parter. The first part of the subsitting court will be here this afternoon. Part 2 will be tonight. So rock and roll with us together as we have some fun here with a moron sub-seat. There you go, Eddie.
Lockheart has a note here on one of these tickets. Did you send a note to the court, Mr. Lockheart?
Yes, I did.
Wait, what does that say?
No.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we have one of those of-the-family finger painters who doesn't quite have a good understanding of the law, so Judge Perkins gives him a free 30-day pass to the law library at the jailhouse. Today is part 1 of 2 really good videos, so let's begin.
Did not accept your offer to contract and do not agree to these proceedings. Alright, so what do you want to do?
I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. I'd like to say for the record, my name is Jamil of the family Lockheart.
Let's get the record established. This is the city of Detroit versus Jamel Amir Lockhart. Appearance for the record, please, Counselor.
Rita White, House Counsel, on behalf of Mr. Jamil Lockheart.
All right, Mr. Lockheart.
No one is representing me on my behalf. I don't know that.
Well, that was your first mistake. The House Counsel is there to aid you and can stand by in an advisory role should you decide to defend yourself. Because as this asshat's going to learn, a law degree from the Google Institute of Technology is the legal equivalent of a deflated ass donut.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lockhart.
Yeah, so I am Jamil of the family Lockhart, flesh and blood, living man, and attorney in fact for Jamil Lockhart and Regis Trust. I'm here by threat, duress, and coercion. I'm here making a special appearance, and I'm here to demand that the court prove jurisdiction over me as a live flesh and blood man.
Don't worry about that. The court's going to prove jurisdiction over you before the end of this trial.
As I said, I submitted a challenge to jurisdiction. Jurisdiction must be proven and proven on the record. And then also I submitted freedom of information act request for your foreign registration statement and anti-bribery statement, as well as that of prosecutor. There is no contract. Every presentment that was made to me was formally rejected and sent back to the court, which is what you have a copy of, by my notary. I do have a live witness notary who can come and testify to that fact. Given that there is no commercial contract, no commercial agreement, I fail to see how the court has jurisdiction. Furthermore, there's been no injured party, and there's been failure to state a claim through a verified affidavit. So if someone can prove to me how this statutory commercial court has some kind of jurisdiction over me as a live flesh and blood human being, I think we could start there.
Well, let's start with your extremely liberal use of the word human being. And then let's head over to Michigan Court Rule 3.100A4, which acknowledges that misdemeanors are to be held under the jurisdiction of the District Courts of Michigan. Now, the MCR derives its powers from Article 6, Section 5 of the Michigan Constitution, which gives the Michigan Supreme Court the ability to create and enforce rules and regulations in all of the courts of Michigan. And of course, let's not forget the 10th Amendment, which grants the states the powers to govern themselves, as long as their rules and regulations do not violate federal law or violate the United States Constitution. So in short, yeah, this court absolutely has jurisdiction over you.
Right.
Well, let's start here. You have a notice is not what you think notice should be. Notice is what is it's properly effectuated in the court rule. And I'll certainly give you whatever hearing that you want if you file the proper motions of material to contest that. I'll give you an opportunity to be heard on that. But furthermore, I have what I'm looking at is I have a proof of service.
There is no proof of service that was rejected and sent back to the court. You have a copy of that.
You're not even listening. You're not even gonna listen. I listen to what you say. Are you gonna listen to me?
No, he's too stupid.
I am listening to you. I'm just responding to you.
Please tell us how you can be both listening and talking at the same time. See, that's the problem with these self-entitled dick flutes. Their social ineptitude is so ingrained in their personality that if you think their inability to hold a normal conversation ends with this Zoom call, then I got some right to travel documents I'd like to sell you.
So why don't you listen before you start making statements?
Oh, you had paused. I thought you were finished.
What it is?
Well, go ahead.
Are you giving me permission to go ahead now, too, right? All right.
I assumed you were done speaking.
All right. Listen, I have a envelope with certified mail. I don't know what. I believe the contents have been stapled to the envelope. It's got a proof of service effectuated by Nyla Perrin. I have a signed complaint here, signed by Officer Randy Randolph on 11/19/2019.
Is he here today?
Well, we can get him in here. Today is only date and time is set for arraignment. So you're just being arraigned, and what the arraignment purposes of the arraignment, and let's go through the whole thing, is you're here for a expired plate ticket. That is a civil infraction that carries a $145 fine. There's an allegation that you did not have a drove while license not valid or improper. That is a misdemeanor offense, punishable by 93 days at the maximum by 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. On the same day and time, it was an allegation that you did not provide proper insurance. That is a misdemeanor, as it's written here, and that is punishable by the maximum possible penalty of 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. There's also a warrant for your arrest for an allegation of an improper, not valid driver's license. So today is the date and time set for arraignment. You have the option of pleading guilty, not guilty, or standing mute. Stand mute. I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. What would you like to do, sir?
I am here under threat, duress, and coercion to demand
You're under threat, duress, or
some kind of jurisdiction. And until jurisdiction has been proven, we can go no further.
Asked and answered.
I would also like to ask you, is this proceeding taking place under common law?
This proceeding is taking place in accordance with the court rules and the statutory laws of the state of Michigan.
So I am not a creature of statute. I am not under statutory law. I would demand that this proceeding take place under common law, as I am a live flesh and blood human being under no authority but that of God.
All right. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm going to give you another court date. I don't have any
All I need you to do is prove jurisdiction.
You don't tell me what you need me to do, sir. Don't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily tell the judge who's presiding over my freedom that he needs to do anything. I'd respectfully ask in the form of a properly filed motion, but your approach, talking over the judge and demanding that he do things for you, is a guaranteed way to get your ass thrown in jail for contempt of court.
Just let me finish.
With all due respect, the court must prove jurisdiction.
I understand that. We can get this over with quicker rather than later if you let me do my job. What I was trying to say, you're making your claim and stating your case that the court doesn't have jurisdiction over. In order for me to properly review that and go, it's got to be done according to the court rules. I need a motion, and I will read that motion.
I have submitted a motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction.
I don't have it in front of me, and then I'll give you a motion.
I have a timestamped copy of it if you'd like me to show you.
All All right. You got to submit it to the court. Look at the.
It was filed by the clerk just 2 days ago.
Okay. Well, it hasn't got to the file. I'm going to give you another pretrial date.
I would like to say I do not consent. The court has to prove jurisdiction. I filed that document a few days ago. Anything short of that is an admission that there is no jurisdiction and we have no further business. We have no contract.
Have a great day, sir.
Okay, so that's the end of his first appearance at his first hearing, and it should have ended there. But the cave-tard decided to stay in the Zoom call until the end of the docket, just so he could argue with the judge some more. Let's just say this is how to not defend yourself in court.
Jamil of the family Lockheart here.
Okay, you're still. Did you have a question, sir?
None other than just stating that I do not consent to these proceedings and I do not consent to any contract.
You already put that on the record.
Okay, good.
You came back in.
I would also like to ask why this Mrs. Rita White had claimed to represent me.
All right, let's go back on the record where Mr. Jamil Lockheart.
Please.
How old are you, sir?
No,
I am 27.
Trust me when I say this. You don't act a day over 9.
I was
You're
gonna say
27
4.
years old, and you go ahead and you ask why Miss White is here to represent you. Well, first and foremost,
Why did she claim to represent me and I have no knowledge?
I'll explain to you. First and foremost, she's the House Counsel for this evening. So for this afternoon, she represents anybody who wants her representation as far as helping them to navigate and to defend themselves.
I have never expressed that want to her.
This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. Any questions?
Why do you talk over people?
Because he's an idiot, Your Honor.
Well, I assume we were having a conversation. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
I am trying to have a conversation, but one's got to talk and one's got to listen.
Okay, go ahead.
You asked why Miss White said she represented you. Miss White said she represented you because she didn't know beforehand the position that you were going to take.
Of being an idiot.
So she's just merely
quite an
doing
assumption.
her job.
That is quite an assumption. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Well, by the name that you put up on there, Jamil of the family Lockheart, I wasn't surprised I wasn't surprised the avenue that you were going to take on that. Just by the name. But she's not going to assume, I don't believe she's going to assume that she's going to treat you any differently than anyone else. And then you said that you didn't want her representation, and she
Wouldn't you agree that for future reference, it might be better to ascertain that kind of information before she makes that kind of statement to everybody?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Do you not understand how the legal system works? You are guaranteed rights to counsel by the 6th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Whether you decide to take that counsel or not is up to you. But something to take into consideration is the sheer number of people that come through the court system that have no idea that they're allowed to have free counsel provided by the government. If the default position was just to let these people defend themselves instead of giving them free counsel, then there'd be way more people making these same mistakes you're making and railroading themselves in court by going pro se.
No.
So the assumption is that everyone wants her to speak on their behalf.
Yes, until
is that not a rash assumption?
Until they say differently, like you did.
Okay. Well, again, this whole time, there's a motion before the court to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction.
Well, there's not a motion.
It has been filed. I have a timestamp copy of it. I can show you that if you need to see it. But your clerk timestamps the file document.
Let me explain to you, and this is just for your information. You say that you filed it with the court and the clerk down at the window, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But typically, you want to, when you do your filings, that's why you want to have a judge's copy, and you want to specifically have that copy hand delivered to the judge's chambers. So we don't rely on the court clerks downstairs at the windows to make sure that these files get put into the proper place. You're not going to make
Who
that.
Are you relying on for that?
You're making, and because you don't want to make that assumption that that file is going to get into the correct file. You don't want to make that assumption. Would you agree?
Who do you rely on to make sure that file documents get to the right place? Get into
the person that's filing it, yourself.
So it is not. You're telling me it's not the duty of the clerk to ensure that documents are filed in the case where the judge can view those documents.
Again, no. You filed your crayon-laden motion 2 days ago, so it probably hasn't even had enough time to be prepared to be heard by the court. See, filing a motion is not the get-out-of-jail-free card that you dipshits think it is. You not only have to file the motion, but then it has to be heard by the court. And typically, the prosecutor's going to want to be there, since they're probably going to want to have a say-so in any decision the court makes, just like you.
Well, on my capacity, that document was sent to the court, by a notary, so I do have a live witness to attest to that fact. It has also been time-stamped. That was recorded as well. I have checked all my boxes when it comes to notifying the court. I've also given you a demand for your Freedom of Information Act request for your foreign registration statement and your anti-bribery statement. The idea or the fact that you do not have that is an issue, and it would mean that you are committing a crime against me and holding this statutory proceeding and trying to confuse me as a live flesh and blood man that I am a corporation beholden to the corporation which you represent. And that is my main point here today, is to tell you that I am not under your jurisdiction. I am a live flesh and blood man. You've already stated that this is not a common law proceeding. I am under no law but common law. We have no commercial contract which would enter us into any kind of statutory law.
Okay.
So I fail to see the issue. And there's also no verified claim with a signed affidavit.
Sir, let me stop you. And I'll let you put that on the record. I'll let you put it on the record already. We've already done those things. So I'm going to end it.
What you're committing here is a fraud against the people.
What you have committed is oxygen theft against the trees and the oceans that worked so hard to produce it.
Okay.
That's what you're participating in.
Okay. Whatever your position
is. Without your foreign registration statement, that's an admission that you are here as a criminal actor.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna end the hearing now.
And I do not consent to any further hearings on this issue or this matter. We have no valid contract. We failed to prove jurisdiction. There is no valid claim.
All right.
I do not consent.
That, sir. I've already let you make a record, and I don't want you to mention any more because I'm going to hold you in contempt of court, okay? So I let you make your record. I set a date.
Whatever you feel like you need to do, I'm here to tell you that I am not under your jurisdiction.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, guys. That's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be out in a couple of days. It's a little...
And actually, part 2 will not be out in a couple days. We actually have part 2 already. But that will appear tonight. So come on back to the evening session. Sorry. If you'd love to hear the exciting conclusion. Till then, like, share, and subscribe. Be kind to one another. And release the Krakens. As we march along this afternoon and every afternoon here from day 1. We'll see you tonight for part 2.